Howdy, and welcome to the Feed Bandit podcast, where we talk all things hunting and introduce you to the most innovative hunting gear and services. Here are your hosts, Jimmy Byrne and Richard Kinchlow. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast. Jimmy and Richard here, back with you for hopefully another very interesting conversation. We're excited today to have a guest on, but before we dive into that, Richard, you want to say hi to the folks?
Howdy, folks. Glad to be here.
They're all cheering. You can hear the cheers in the background.
Of course I can. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm pumped to be here.
All right. Well, like Richard said, we're excited tonight. We have a special guest on the podcast. His name is Michael Haby. He's the founder and owner of the Orange Corn Company. Hey, Michael, welcome to the Feed Bandit podcast.
Hello. What's going on? Super exciting. Really glad you guys came to us and asked us to be on. So, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the way we usually start these things is we always ask our guests, hey, tell us about yourself and how you got started in the business.
Okay, so, yeah, we can go a short story or long story.
It's up to you.
So I am Michael Haby. I'm 35 years of age, live in Castroville, Texas. Orange Corn got started based off of a orange tree at a deer lease just south of Castroville. Literally, I would go hunting. It was a bow hunting lease only, right? They were really strict on bow hunting. That's all we could do. And there was an orange tree that was next to a grapefruit tree. And some people in South Texas, for some reason back in the day, folks would always plant a grapefruit tree and an orange tree together. I don't know why. They cross-pollinate. I don't really know why, but I just knew that I would grab oranges off the tree for years and just eat them a little bit. I wouldn't eat all of them, and I would just throw them out in my bow hunting blind. I was exactly 22 and a half yards from my deer feeder. And it was literally a light bulb. So I am a farmer as well. We have a 1,000-acre farm that we work on 7 days a week. It was just a light bulb one day. I've been throwing these oranges out, and I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. You know, I would eat the oranges as a satisfaction for myself, but throwing them out to the deer, they were eating them. And like I said, it literally took years for them to pick up on, or for me to pick up on what they were really doing. I was just like, throw the orange out, get rid of it out of the deer blind because the bees come in. Mm-hmm. So anyways, from that point on, I went to the kitchen, my wife's kitchen, because we all know it's your wife's kitchen, not yours.
Oh, yeah,
you're a cook. Yeah. Even if the wife doesn't cook, it's still her kitchen. Right. So anyways, we slowly started playing around with trying to make a liquid orange scent. And then it really went into a orange scented mineral powder. This came brought on by an individual that we know that was a chemist. And without the chemist involved, it was very difficult to learn this process. So the chemist and I went round and round for almost a year and a half, from 2011 to 2012, to trying to figure out and play around with this. By all means, this was just for enjoyment of trying to figure out how to make an orange scented something. Mm-hmm. We actually made orange scented candy by accident, trying to figure out how these things worked. Anyways, with the chemist involved, it really, he took things to another level with the mineral factors and things like that. And it just fell into place. We designed an orange scented mineral powder for fun. Farming is my passion. Orange corn is a pain in the butt sometimes, but it's what the people want right now. So what do you got to do, right? It's not about what you want. It's not about what we want. It's what you have to go after. So, what has happened is truly, I don't know how to explain it. It just fell into place. An orange scented mineral powder started from an orange tree. I would never have guessed it worked this well. All over the United States, we ship out these little pouches. They make their own orange corn. I had no idea we had a fan base in Texas the way we did with these last Texas Trophy Hunters extravaganza shows.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We went up to Fort Worth and talked to a bunch of people, and we were just blown away. They're like, oh, Orange Corn Company's here. And we're like, man, what's going on? The business was never designed for the money. The stories and what the feedback we get from it is it's unbelievable.
That's great.
So yeah,
that's where we met you, was at the Fort Worth Trophy Hunter show, and I remember you had that cup with the sample in it or whatever, and I smelt it. I was like, man, that is crazy.
Smell it, and
yeah, exactly.
What's funny about that powder, right? People smell it. So the hunter show will get a lady walking by. They're all mad because the husband wants to go to the hunting show, and she's whatever. And we would stop the lady actually, and we're like, hey, ma'am, I bet I could change your facial expression in 1 second. And they'd be like, oh, really? And so I would put the little orange scented powder in front of their face, and they would smell it, and it was boom, instant light switch. They would start smiling. Oh my God, that smells amazing. And it was hilarious. And so I had more fun messing with the crowd than even trying to sell. My brother-in-law Donnie and Terry, they're like, dude, start selling product. Quit messing with the people out there.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
That is more enjoyable to me, and it's funny. It's really, I can't believe what's happening at this point. Real trees getting involved. Mike Straw from Savage Outdoor TV. They all just designed our new pouch, which the old pouch has already been mailed out to 37 states in the United States, right?
Wow.
And that was mind-blowing. We haven't really marketed anything. It's just the simple words of people keep saying, what is orange corn, and we would get these orders in online, and I would ask the people, why, how did you hear this? What's going on with this? And they're like, oh, we just, we hear this orange corn, so we just Google it. What's the top 5 deer attractants? And orange corn pops up.
Wow.
And so, it's enjoyable to hear what happens in South Texas versus New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio.
Can you give us some examples of kind of the different stories that you might hear from the different areas?
Yeah, there is one story that really stands out. This was years ago, back in 2014. We 2012, 2013, the bags hit the ground. So this one lady called, and she said, I got to tell you my story. I have an 11-acre, she called it her 11-acre ranch, whatever. It's 11 acres. It's her ranch. So it's a long, skinny strip. Well, on the left and right side of her is 2 massive 400-acre peanut farms. Like, there are no deer going to come into her 11-acre brush.
Right.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, no way, right? And so she was this. By all means, remember, this is 10 years she has owned this property and has never killed deer on it because they're out there in the fields.
Mm-hmm.
She called and said, let me tell you what I did. You guys came out with orange corn. I fed the roads. I put 4 bags down the main road of where we kind of see deer every now and then. They put 4 50-pound bags down the road. The next morning, she shows us a picture of a 10-pointer on her wall. She said, this is what came. That next morning, I had a 10-pointer in my Sendero that I got to shoot. That evening, her daughter got to shoot another 10-pointer.
Wow.
So she said, I just killed 2 10-point deer off of my 11-acre patch that I have not seen in the last 10 years of owning this property.
Hey, hold on one quick moment. Hey folks, have you ever wished that there was an easier way to find the hunting feeds, supplies, and services you need, when and where you need them? If so, check out our hunter search at feedbandit.com, where you can see what hunting suppliers are in your area or are on the way to your land. Don't waste any more precious time searching Google or calling around for feed, blinds, feeders, or even outfitters. Just use our targeted search for hunters, the Feed Bandit Hunter Search, over at feedbandit.com. We'll find your feed.
Of course, some hunters are skeptical. They're like, "Well, I don't really know if it was the corn or not."
Right.
But we hear these stories nationwide, and it's incredible that I hear a story from New York and New Jersey that the deer act the same as down here in South Texas.
Right.
Why and how do deer act the same? Well, that goes back to the chemist and how he figured out what minerals do with animals. We just don't even know how to dissect that because we're not that type of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he nailed it. And the stories are priceless.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even put a dollar on people's reactions. They call them their orange corn bucks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Nice.
that's what's going on, and we really didn't pick up on that till last year. They're like, "Oh yeah, check out my orange corn buck," and we would have like 20, 30 people. Hey, check out my orange corn buck, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome."
Wow.
So, Michael, what do you think it is? I mean, we all know that the deer's sense of smell is incredibly acute. Significantly more than ours. But do you think it's a smell and a taste thing, or I mean, obviously, I assume it's probably the smell that leads them to the taste. But what do you think?
So, I don't know what is involved with citrus, what sparks an animal's sense. On top of that, you have the powder, the minerals that's in there. So it's just like a 2-part wham,
Right.
I actually, this is a funny story. I don't know how long we have to talk, but it is another funny story, right?
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was talking with Donnie and Terry, and I'm like, how crazy is that? I can put this cup of powder, orange powder, in front of a lady walking by in front of us and change her reaction instantly. Is that not the same as a deer?
Right.
Like, I was just talking out loud, and I said, if a deer walks by and they just catch a whiff of this, it completely changes their pattern, right?
Their demeanor and pattern and everything.
Yes. And so Donnie, my brother-in-law, he said, well, do you remember the story back in 2012, 2013 when we were testing all this? So Donnie reminded me of the story because I forgot. It's too much on the plate, right? So he said, I had a doe and a buck in full rut. The doe jumps over his sendero. He had orange corn in the sendero. His deer feeder was regular corn, right?
Right.
Doe jumps over the sendero, down his road. Buck's following in full blown. They're hauling ass. You know what the rut is like. They don't stop.
Nope.
He's got it on video. This deer, the buck, went by, did a 180, came right back and started eating. He said his jaw was hanging out the window going, you got to be kidding me right now.
Right.
The buck just ran by, dead speed, came back, and started eating out of the road. The doe, that doe was gone, right? But he was just blown away. And so it's very difficult. You have to see it to believe it. I'm not a salesman. I love talking about the story and how all this came about, but you truly just have to see it to believe it. What's happening?
Right.
Yeah, I've got the. Yeah, I was gonna say I've got a similar story. I was in a bar in my younger days, and I was chasing a young lady, and I ran across a chicken fried steak, and she escaped. I stole the guy's chicken fried steak, right?
That's funny, right?
It's
Let me
just
tell you, that's
it
tough
just
to do.
proves, man, that food is more powerful than the opposite sex.
Oh, dude. Yeah, and maybe a Coors Light right there. You had two parts. You had a smell and then food.
That's right.
There you go.
Well,
That's awesome.
I'd like to want to jump back to when the light bulb went off in your head, and you're sitting there in your bow stand, and the deer were eating on that orange. Could you tell that they were were they licking that taste, licking the citrus, or were they actually eating like the inside? Or?
Yeah. So we got to go into finer detail here because I really don't say it too much, right? So I honestly don't even like eating an orange, right? So I would literally just suck the juice out of an orange, throw the oranges out. So they would eat the pulp, the insides.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So maybe, we go to church on Sunday. I was given this thought, I feel like, we can come up with things all we want, but, it's just crazy. It really is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, let's. You grow the corn, or you grow a lot of your corn that you sell?
In your
bags on your own property. Is that right?
Yeah. So, like right now, we have about 60,000 bushels worth of corn stored up. The farm is 24/7. We had a great corn crop this year. My passion is farming. Since I was 5 years old, I love farming. The farm has grown as a hobby. I was actually, I built houses for 11 years. My farm, a 27-acre farm, was given to me back in 1998 when my grandfather died. My grandpa was a carpenter and a farmer on the side, right? So nobody else in the family. I had a Model B tractor, 1947, small disc.
Nice.
I loved everything about it since I was 5 years old. I have a neighbor that retired in farming. I had slowly got more and more acres. And what's crazy about this whole story is I pushed myself out of house building. I had to choose from house building or farming. And it was a very difficult thing because I had to choose from money, which was paying the bills for our family, my wife and 4 kids, or a passion, right?
Right.
So I'm not about the money. I'm 100% not about the money. I had to go with what I knew. I love farming, and I think we're good at it. So I went to farming, and this is what brought Orange Corn Company to the table, which has now put people's orange corn bucks all over the freaking country already.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it is just crazy to me, the path that is what's going on. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well,
follow your dreams. Look what happens. Yeah.
That's right.
It's kind of relative to you and me, Jimmy.
Well, no, him following his dream, probably did allow all these other people to succeed in their dream by putting these trophies on their walls. So it's
very much
succeed in hunting. Yeah,
that's right.
So, my wife is the only one that can go back to this and say, "Hey, honey, what if I were to produce this orange corn?" Which we would laugh about it because I actually typed Orange Corn Company in the internet, Google, right, to search. Do you know what popped up? Nothing. It said invalid search.
Oh, that's great.
You usually don't see that, and so I kept telling
you beat the internet.
You beat Google.
I was hey, honey, something's not right. I don't think it's picking up on what I'm typing in. So,
That was awesome.
Anyways, it was just funny.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Hey, folks, do you want to level up your hunting game and gear? If so, join the hunt to get killer hunting tips and tricks that'll help you out in the field. text the word bandit to 345-345 right now. And when you do, you'll even get access to some exclusive deals on the hunting gear and services we discuss right here on this podcast. Again, text the word bandit to 345-345 right now and join the hunt.
So, Michael, tell us about. All right, so for our listeners out there, if they, hopefully they'll go and they'll buy a couple of packets. Try to put it out there for their use. Where baiting is legal, of course. What is the best way to prepare corn for this? I see one packet treats how many pounds, and what happens if you don't? Can you store it as long as it's cool and dry, or how does all that work?
Yeah. So the new pouch that's in hand is a Orange Corn Company feeder mix, right? And it was designed by Realtree. Realtree Edge is the camouflage. These guys are on board. The pouch will treat 300 pounds, which is your standard deer feeder, right? 55-gallon drum, takes about 6 to 7 bags, depending on how the funnel is on the bottom.
Right.
So we designed it, 300 pounds, one deer feeder. You're going to take this and you're going to dust it in there in layers. We actually took a video of how the inside of a grain bin works, right? So they pull from the center. So when you layer this thing in there, pour a 50-pound bag, dust it in there, pour another bag like a sandwich. Like a grain bin, this thing will funnel from the middle, and it will mix itself. And I'm a firm believer in making sure we test things and putting it out there, because it's hard to sell something that you just don't know what's going on.
Sure.
We have to know 100% everything, because you guys come up with questions that, if you don't have an answer to, you're red flag, right?
Yeah.
So, a lot of people say it's a gimmick, this and that, but it truly just fell into place. It really did. Mike Stroh from Savage Outdoor TV was on board before Realtree hit. Without Mike Stroh, Realtree would not have been involved. And so that was just a whole nother, man, this is crazy what's going on. Mike Stroh, we paid him to give us a little bit of TV, TV, whatever. But, and so he got a hold of Realtree, and Mike Stroh's credibility with Realtree, whatever Mike says, we're going with it.
Right.
That's how powerful Savage Outdoor TV is with Realtree.
Excellent.
Now they got endorsed by Academy. Mike Stroh and Savage Outdoor TV, Academy endorsed them. Without even knowing all of this, what happened in the years before, we actually just produced a product, Orange Corn Company Feeder Mix, is endorsed by Realtree, the Edge camouflage. On the back of it says, as seen on Savage Outdoor TV. This was put in the works before Academy got put on the board. Now, we actually produced a product that Academy, Savage Outdoor TV, Realtree is all linked together, and now we have a product to go on the shelf, so we can get it out to the public.
Sure,
that's great.
That is one of the most difficult things about all this is distribution and mass production. Mm-hmm. How do you get something out without people helping? If you don't know somebody, it's very difficult, to learn these loopholes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's who you know sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So those pouches, they're called the Trail Fees. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. So Trail Fees was our first line of pouches, right? Okay. We had a lawyer involved before these hit the shelf, and they said you need to come up with a unique name to make sure this stands out. So Trail Fees was brought on by a few words: trails, traps, and trophies.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's kind of just threw it together,
Right.
It just
It's catchy.
It is. I related it to, and this might sound, I don't even know, but you look at a gas station, look at the word Exxon, EXXON, right? And I tell the wife and the kids, I'm all, Exxon, look at that word. We all know this as a fuel station, but when Exxon first probably hit the shelves, what the heck is EXXON, you know? Right. So this is why the lawyer was like, you need to come up with a name of this that nobody even knows about, right. And which was unbelievable difficult.
Well, that's a really good point, though. You know, I didn't even really think about it. I mean, I've known Exxon as Exxon. I know Google as Google. You know, that's a really good point.
Well, it's like all these kids nowadays think FedEx. That's the name of FedEx instead of Federal Express.
Yeah, it's crazy. Here's another funny. Here's a funny story with that. So I had wrote down the word trail fees, right? So I had my wife, my brother-in-law, a couple employees. I'm all, look, trail fees. And they're like, that's dumb.
Thanks for your support.
I'm all, look, guys, have you even heard of this word? They're like, no. Is that even a word? I'm all, no, it's not a word. It's anyway, that stuff is what is enjoyable to me. Is like when you're trying to dissect the world and how the factories work and how people work and just, I don't know. I could go on and on. We probably only got so much time, but.
No, that's great. It's you're passionate about it, and it is a really neat product to be passionate about. That's what we love to hear. I did want to ask you about the trail fees for turkey. So when you throw that out, what do you see the turkey doing? Basically the same thing, or
same thing. So the pouches are the same orange scented mineral powder, but inside of all of the different pouches were a turkey pouch, a hog pouch, and a deer pouch. We just changed up the recipe on the grains. So like the turkey pouch has nothing but wheat and milo, really small grains. Okay. Deer and hogs have a very difficult time picking up very small grains, right? Mm-hmm. So we were just like, you know what, let's make a turkey pouch. Let's load up some milo and wheat in there with the orange powder because, quite frankly, there's really not much of anything that will not go to this orange-scented mineral powder. Mm-hmm. The hogs was more soybeans and corn, and the deer was a little bit of everything because we wanted the milo and wheat involved in that because if you do catch a rain, you'll start to grow the vegetation. Again, remember, I'm a farmer, so mm-hmm. I'm thinking about, man, we could plant some milo and wheat under these deer feeders, and maybe it'll sprout, you know?
Right.
So that's funny. I've orange flavored growing milo. You know, I've seen. Yeah. It's funny you say that because I've seen. You know, I've seen food plots, the place that we've hunted, where we've let the wheat just head out. And instead of coming and baling it or shredding it or whatnot, we just let it head out, and it's hysterical watching those deer, eat those milo heads and those wheat heads.
Oh yeah, the wheat heads are crazy with the hogs. You know, we get so mad at them as a farmer because the hogs go in there and they start eating the wheat heads off, but right. They don't eat the wheat. They just chew it up, get all the milk stage out of it, and then spit it right out on the ground.
Really?
And we're like,
that I did not know.
Yeah. Yes, they will. They just take the nutrients and the milk stage out of it, and you're like, you bastards! You could walk through there, got piles of wheat. Yeah.
All right, now you know what, Michael. This is a really good topic. You know, a lot of the people that that listen to this podcast, the majority we think are from Texas, but. You know, we've definitely got some that are from outside the state, and obviously us being Texans too, we are very familiar with the whole issues with the hogs. So, but we've never had somebody on that's a farmer who's actually financially impacted, by the hogs. So, what have they done to your fields, and what have they done to your crops, and which crop do they seem to want to destroy the most?
Okay, so all your different stages, right? Your number one crop that they go after, and it's pretty much the most crucial time of its growth, is a corn crop.
Okay.
These hogs are so intelligent. You'll catch a big swine that just had babies, and they will go through a corn crop right in the ear stage and milk stage of the corn, and they will go bite off the stalks. They can smell what's going on above their head, and they just go through there and start biting off the stalks so the little ones can come in and eat. One sow with her babies can probably take down 2 to 3 acres a night.
Wow. No, really?
Yes. What this computes to is if the amount of money that they just lost in a corn by the hogs, you could have put a high fence up around your property 4 times.
Wow.
And here's the deal with the farmers. We're all a bunch of can't cuss, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Farmers are wedges, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to save money, but we forget about the damages what these hogs can do to the crops.
Right.
It's just incredible what they can eat in one night. We have a group of guys. It is. We have a group of guys that have thermal scopes on their rifles.
Yes.
They have done more damage. They have shot. We have a farm. It's about 400 acres. It's got 3 pivots on it right now. They have shot over 80 hogs at night with their thermal scopes in the last 3 months. We also have a pilot named Heath that flies over with his Jet Ranger and shoots hogs during the day. The guys on the ground with their thermal scopes shoot 90% of what they see. The hogs are blind at night. They really can't pick up on what's going on. They'll start shooting at them with their thermals, and they'll just start running right at them. They'll get within 10, 15 yards and just start hammering them.
Yeah,
Perfect.
as long as the wind's in your favor, you're in good shape. So.
Those are some fun. Those are some fun videos to watch on YouTube.
Oh, I get their videos all the time, and I want to go out there, but the wife and 4 kids, you're pretty much handcuffed. So
now, do those guys do that as like a side business or a full business?
Oh yeah, side job. They work for CPS. They got they work for the union. They're all gravy. They got retirement set for life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They'll go get their ammo. They'll stay up 2 or 3 in the morning, and I need to send y'all a picture. I think at one picture they sent me, they had like 57 hogs in the bed of a truck one night.
Wow.
Yeah,
we may want to talk to some of them on the podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah. You get on a podcast with the thermal scopes and what's going on. Yeah, It's incredible.
Well, that's great. Well, Michael, we really appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you wanted to tell our folks about before we sign off tonight?
No, yeah, just we got the new Realtree product that's fixing to hit the shelf. We got to start packaging it up. We're hoping to get just get it out to the United States, because that's what it's ended up like. It's not about South Texas anymore and the deer hunting, and people up north have no idea how many deer are in South Texas, and we have no idea how many deer are in North Texas. So, but it's funny that we get the reaction of the same deer with the same attractant that hit the shelf. So that is what's truly exciting about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, we encourage everyone out there to head on over to orangecorncompany.com and check out what you guys have. Do you have social media links and all that over there as well?
We have an Instagram post.
Okay.
I mean, I post every now and then. We're hands-on. We, like I said, a 1,000-acre farm, and plus we sack corn about 40 pallets a day, and we try to get some clips in there, but we're not too social media literate.
But they can reach you at orangecorncompany.com.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if we're actually fixing to launch the new website, which is with the new Realtree product. So, if they want to order now, they'll get the 5-ounce pouches, which will treat 150 pounds. We still have boxes of those. And then we'll try to switch over the new website, which will get the new Realtree pouches as soon as we get that inventory base up. But it's all the same powder, all the same formula. It's all about timing right now.
Right. Okay. All right. When do you expect the new website to go online?
Within the next week.
Okay.
Definitely within the next week. The Realtree pouches just came in yesterday. We've got to go to Dallas, pick them up, have a meeting with the Realtree guy, and so we'll start packaging in the middle of next week. Hopefully we transition to the website from then. So 1 week minimum, 2 weeks max.
Okay. All right. Well, by the time folks hear this podcast, we would encourage everyone out there to go to orangecorncompany.com, and your new website should be up and running, and they can take a look at it over there. So
awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael, for coming on the Feed Bandit podcast. We look forward to talking with you in the future, and hopefully we can chat again.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
All right, folks. That was Michael Haby, the founder and owner of the Orange Corn Company. That was very interesting.
That really was. It's fascinating to hear about that. And nothing against Realtree, obviously, but I thought that. And again, this is me just kind of judging a book by its cover. I hate that little cliche or whatever. But, here they are, Realtree as a massive company, and they're the camouflage company, right? But I just didn't think that they would deal with a smaller company, really, from South Texas. And boy, I was wrong. I mean, that is fantastic.
Well, that's a mark of approval.
Oh my God!
Of what he does right there.
No doubt. That is fantastic. So,
yeah, sure.
and it's two things that I really learned from this, besides just some interesting tidbits here and there. But yet again, you got a guy out there who's doing his job. He's farming, he's doing his passion. And then he's hunting, and he sees something, and an idea hits, and then he flips it into a business. Is really fascinating. The other thing that he said, and I was actually going to bring it up, but it is amazing how many chemists are involved with all of these ideas.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, what is this, like number 5? A chemist came in and said, hey, it's the chemist helped do this and do that, which is great because, quite frankly, I can't even spell chemistry. And so I didn't know what the hell they did. I mean, they make they got those beakers that explode and bubble and turn people into monsters, and that's all I thought they did. So boy, I'm an idiot. I don't know. So
that was one of my favorite. I love doing those equations back in high school.
Yeah, I bet you did. Nerd alert. Yeah. I think I took biology. No, I did. I took biology.
Yeah, I took biology as well. It was taught by one of our coaches, though. So.
Oh yeah, boy, that's great. And in college, I took biology of plants, and I'm like, how the hell can a damn daffodil be this freaking complex? It was awful because I can't spell half the words.
Well, hey, don't let our buddy
say them.
Don't let Daniel hear you say.
Oh,
that.
I know. Oh God. All right.
Excuse me.
It's good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to definitely try this down at Rancho Bandito.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, I was. I would definitely love to. So very cool.
All right. Well, thanks again, Michael, for coming on the podcast. Again, everybody out there, you can go to find their products over at orangecorncompany.com and get you some. Try it out for yourself, and let us know. Let Michael know, but also let us know how it works for you. Send us some videos or some pictures, or of the trophy that you take this year with the orange corn that you get. So
yeah, sorry, not to. I just have a thought, and if I don't get it out, it'll disappear. We should load up the Feed Bandit Trough trademark, our product registry. Anyway, load up the Feed Bandit Trough with some orange corn. some regular corn and like maybe some protein or something. See what happens. That'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
I smell a January project.
There you go.
Or after a rifle season, that'll be fun for what's left. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, just one other thing I wanted to mention to everyone listening out there. We're currently running a giveaway contest on our website. When you hear this, there'll still be several weeks left to go on it. We're going till October 20th, 2019. And that is for a pack of 3 Teammate T-Post game camera mounts. So if anybody out there, you use a lot of T-Post and try to put your camera on it with baling wire or bungee cords or anything like that, and you find that you go out there later on and then something's knocked it over, or it's just slipped or whatever, and you have 100,000 pictures of grass blowing in the wind, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do that no more. You can get the T-Post mount, Teammate T-Post mount, and easily mount that camera to that mount on your T-post. And if some of you out there aren't using T-posts for that purpose because you've always had trouble with that, well, now you can use these. Solve your problem right there.
For sure. For those, just a quick interjection again before I lose it. The for those of you that have got whose hunting space is and like for the people in the Texas Hill Country where it's solid rock, and you can't really sink a T-post. I highly encourage you a little Sunday project while you're watching the football game, assuming you have a TV in your garage, because mixing concrete in the house is a no-no. But something fun to do with the kids is go make yourself a little game camera holder. Jimmy and I did this. Jimmy and I did this on May 30th. May 29th, 2011. And I know that because my daughter was born the very next day. But it's pretty simple. Get a T-post, get one of their buckets, and then get a sack of concrete, mix it in there. Probably don't have to make it level, and you've got a nice little camera stand. And that's exactly what we put our teammates on. And they legitimately, they're the real deal. They're good stuff. So please sign up. And I can't wait to ship them to you.
Just go to feedbandit.com, and at the top you'll see a quick link that'll take you over to the contest page where you can see some videos of the teammate in action, and you can sign up there for the giveaway. Again, it's a pack of 3, so go ahead and sign up. You might get lucky. Mm-hmm. So with that, I think we'll just sign off on this one for tonight. You got anything else?
We need some rain, and always, always, always support your local feed store.
Thanks for listening to the Feed Bandit podcast. Just a reminder to text the word bandit to 345-345. And when you do, you'll join our email list where we'll send killer deals on innovative hunting products and services, along with entertaining tips and tricks straight to your inbox. You don't want to miss out. So again, text the word bandit 345-345, and we look forward to seeing you on the hunt. Until next time, have a good one, and remember to support your local feed store.